What's up, guys? Matt back again with my weekly review of The Walking Dead. This is for Season 6, Episode 3, entitled Thank You. Once again, sorry guys for getting this up a couple of days late. Like I said, with my work schedule, it's really hard to do it the day of or the day after. So, appreciate y'all bearing with me. And yeah, let's get right into this review. This episode starts out with Rick and the gang trying to head back towards Alexandria because they hear the siren or the horn going off from the end of episode 1, which we found out in episode 2 was the wolves crashing the trailer into Alexandria. Rick actually is not going to go back to Alexandria right away. His plan, he tells the people that he's going to go get the RV, circle back around and basically cut the herd off at, half the herd that broke off. He's going to try to cut them off and lead them back towards, Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham, basically just reconnect them back with the other herd. So he splits off, and the other group that's left is Glenn, Michonne, Heath, and a couple of Alexandrians, what I call red shirts, guys that you really don't know too well, But anyways, they go off on their own, and he basically tells them just get back to Alexandria, let them know what's going on, and see what's going on with the horn, what's happening. So, that's our group that's split. Oh, and Nicholas is with him as well. I forgot about him. But anyways, basically this episode shows the majority of the episode is Glenn and their group of Michonne. They get to a little town. And they got to patch up Scott, which he was shot by one of the other Alexandrians when they panicked when they were taking out a few walkers, and he got shot in the leg. So they stop in the town. They're trying to find something to bandage him up just to get him back to Alexandria. While they're there, they're holed up in a pet store, to try to patch him up and try to, and then they're going to get going. The Glenn comes up with an idea to burn, I was at Nicholas. Hell, I have to go back and watch. It's either Nicholas or Glenn's idea. I think it might be a Nicholas to burn one of the buildings to draw the walkers to it, so they'll stop going towards the Alexandria. So Glenn and Nicholas go off. They're going to torch one of the buildings or attempt to torch one of the buildings. So it'll go up, and the walkers, the horde that's coming, impending herd that's coming, will be distracted by it. Meanwhile, back in the pet shop, they get Scott all bandaged up and everything, and they're about to take off, And Glenn basically said, if y'all don't see me, whenever y'all gotta go, y'all just gotta go. So they end up having to go because they see the herd is there. There's no waiting around. They got to book it. So they try to get out of there. They don't know what's going on with Nicholas and Glenn. Michonne, Heath, and the rest of the gang, they're taking off, towards back to Alexandria. We lose Annie, which is, a minor character. She had sprained her ankle earlier in the episode. She gets taken out easily by one of the walkers as they're trying to get away from the herd. And then another guy that was bit previously, he was bit on the shoulder, but he hadn't turned or anything. But then they ended up catching him on the fence when they jumped over this iron fence. His name is David. So they ended up, so we ended up losing a couple Alexandrians in the process of them trying to get away. But Heath, Scott, and Michonne all got, they got over the fence, and then they booked it back to Alexandria. Meanwhile, at the same time, Glenn and Nicholas, they're going to try to torch this one building. It's a feed store because they think it'll go up, real quick and easy. But once they get there, it's already been torched. So they're going to try to figure out another building to burn. But by this time, the herd is already there. It's coming from both directions that they're looking. They don't know where to go. They're kind of panicking a little bit. So they run down this alley, and it's a dead-end alley with like a chain link fence on one side, a building on the other. Then when they get like the middle of the alley, it's another chain link fence that goes across, and there's a dumpster. So they're basically like trapped rats, They're down to their last stand. They're shooting walkers. They're stabbing them, But then there's hundreds of them just coming, And then they gotta get surrounded. So Glenn and Nicholas get on top of the dumpster. Nicholas is just kind of just zoning out. He's he's not there. He's panicking, kind of. He's just, the way they show the camera is just his perspective is just, everything's muffled, and he don't know what's going on. But then basically he doesn't want to turn into one of them things. Basically he takes his own life. He turns to Glenn, says thank you, puts a gun to his head, blows his brains out. But in the process of that, he falls, as he shoots himself in the head, he falls on top of Glenn, and they both fall off the dumpster. And the shot that they show us, it looks like Glenn's getting his guts eaten. He's getting, he's basically dead, right? But I beg to differ. And the only reason I say that is because I know Stephen Yeun, that plays Glenn, has still been seen on set recently filming, and they're late into the season. So I don't know how they're going to do it, how he's going to get out of it, but don't worry. I know everybody's mad, but don't worry. Glenn is not dead. I'm 99.9% sure. I would be shocked if he ends up being dead from this. I don't know if it's going to be him hallucinating that he was getting eaten, or that was Nicholas they were eating. Because Nicholas fell on top of him, and he's somehow going to get out of there. I don't know how he's going to get out of there, but something. I don't see Glenn dying like that. They're not going to make him go out like that. You know what I mean? But anyways, so Heath, Michonne, and Scott get back to Alexandria. They see the 18-wheeler where it has crashed. They don't really show anything else of them while they get there. They show they're showing up. And then the rest of the episode is Rick. He getting back to the RV. He gets to the RV. He drives it around to where he's going to, meet up with the herd and try to take them, to meet back up with the other herd. And as he's sitting there, he's basically ambushed by some of the wolves that Morgan let go in the last episode. The one guy that took the gun, and a couple of the other guys. The guy took the gun, he shoots at Rick, misses him. He comes in the RV, shoots at him because Rick's in the driver's seat still. And then there's a struggle with Rick and that guy, and then another guy comes in. He's trying to choke out Rick. Rick ends up getting the better of him, shoots both of them in the head with his trusty .357 mag. And then he hears something on the outside of the RV. He looks in the rearview mirror and sees 3 more wolves. And what does Rick do? Probably the most badass part of the episode. Takes his nice AK-47 assault rifle, and just unloads a whole clip through the side of that RV. Boom, 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 boom. And that's it. He ends up killing all 3 of them. It was an epic, awesome moment where he just unloaded that assault rifle into the side of that. But yeah, and then the episode ends with Daryl. It shows Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham still leading the other half of the herd away because Rick told them to keep going. They have to keep going because if they stop, the other herd that's following them is not going to break him back. It's only going to be worse. But at the end of the episode, Rick's trying to start the RV back because the herd that he's trying to wrangle back is showing up to where he is. But of course, the RV doesn't start. He tries to turn it over and it just doesn't start. So that's how they end it on us. So we don't know exactly how he's going to get out of it, but I'm sure they'll show next time they come back. But of course they had to leave us on a little bit of a cliffhanger with the RV not starting. But yeah, all in all, very action-packed, intense episode. Glenn's death, I don't think so, but we will have to wait and see. Pretty insane. I know a lot of people were mad about it, but yeah, it was all in all, I thought it was a great episode, even though it was only basically just one group and then Rick doing his stuff. But it was awesome, very awesome episode, and I give it a 10 out of 10. This season has just been almost flawless to me. But anyways, yeah, I appreciate y'all checking this review out, guys, and I will be back next week with a review of episode 4. Appreciate all the love and support. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and want to get some more Walking Dead content, always hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys, and I'll see y'all next time.
Welcome to Woodburn.